Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Caithness Amateur Dram Antique Society tasting. Last year, I did a video of Scapa in which I reviewed Scapa Skiren at 40%, the old Scapa 16-year-old at 40%, a Scapa 14-year-old distillery exclusive at 48.1%, and Scapa Glanza at 40%. I discussed the distillery and the whiskies. I first tried Scapa back in 2015 in a cafe in Kirkwall. I tried the old Scapa 16 and I loved it, and I went straight down the street and immediately bought 2 bottles of Scapa because in 2015 the store, the lady in the shop, a nice delicatessen at the end of Main Street in Kirkwall, explained to me that they were going to discontinue the Scapa 16. And tonight I'm going to taste 2 Scapas, a Scapa 10-year-old at 48% and a Scapa 16-year-old at 48%. And these are fairly new releases. In August last year, they decided to go back to an age statement on their whiskies rather than the now discontinued Scapa Skiren and the Scapa Glanza. So I'm reviewing 2 whiskies from the distillery, and we have been crying out for a well-preserved, well-presented, enthusiast-focused core range from Scapa. The distillery was founded in 1885 by McFarlane and Townsend and is currently owned by Chivas Brothers, part of the larger Pernod Ricard group. And of course, it's located in the village of St. Ola and close to Kirkwall, the capital of the Orkney Islands. I do recommend a tour. It's an interesting distillery to go to, and the tasting room is it's a lovely. The ceiling is an upturned Orkney cob, and it's a nice space, and they don't skimp on the tasting. It's a small distillery which produces 1.3 million litres of whisky a year, and it's the only one in Scotland that has a Lowland wash still, a type of still containing perforated plates. That's a cross between a column and a pot still, and it has the longest known fermentation time of any Scotch whisky at 160 hours. Much of the production is used within Chivas Brothers' blended whisky ranges, including Ballantine's and Chivas Regal, with just a small percentage released as Scapa Single Malt. So the new state-of-the-art tasting room was added to the visitor centre in 2022, and it looks over Scapa Bay. It has a lovely view. Due to the fact that whisky was either ancient and rare or youthful and sharp, I suspect the recently retired Skiren and Glanza, both at 40% and pretty forgettable, were the only viable strategies from an outfit such as Chivas Brothers, owned by an outfit such as Pernod. So we all looked on distantly and patiently, hoping that some decent stock might one day be made available through Indies to quench our thirst for our almost lost island there. But here we are. We have actual official bottlings with decent bottling strengths and fairly reasonable prices. And you compare that to Inverhouse's Speyburn implosion. Just as they run to smelt the family jewels at the cynical altar of water and dilution, Scapa steps up. And that's interesting. This is at 48% and fairly priced. A 10-year-old is £50. So I found it an instant decision to buy a bottle. I actually bought a bottle of both, the 10 and the 16. they've both been matured in American oak cask, which can be a little confusing because both bourbon and sherry can be matured in American oak. But I'm assuming they mean it's ex bourbon. And what I'm finding in the glass would suggest that's the case too. They fail to mention on the label whether it's natural colour, but a QR code on the back label takes you to a web page which confirms that, unfortunately, caramel colouring has been added. It's non-chill filtered displayed on the outer carton, but not on the label itself. So, first up, we have the 10-year-old. So, it comes in a pale blue. There's two whiskies here, the 10-year-old and the 16-year-old. So, the 10-year-old is a sort of jade coloured box. The 16-year-old is a slightly darker blue. And it's a nice squat box. Some debate about whether boxes are necessary nowadays. I do like to see a box, I must say. But on the label, we just have Scapa 10-year-old, 48%, a QR code on the back. And if you scan that, you'll get more information about the whiskey. It does say in the box some detail about Scapa Distillery. And it also does say that it's non-chill filtered and small batch. So let's see what we have here. Nice squat bottle, a nice sort of sailing boat, almost like the signature of Scapa, and a nice cork. So let's see what we have here. Sort of, it's pretty dark, but there is colour added to this. And it has nice tears. Nice sticky tide line there. And it's got a sort of rich vanilla and caramel with tropical fruits in abundance, especially dried mango, but with ripe banana and peach notes too. I'm picking up some coconut, plain white candle wax, and a touch of sandalwood, and sweet William pears and sweeter apples, Macintosh reds, which used to be the sweet red apple of our time before Pink Lady came along and stole the shelf space. Fruit sticks there, and then it slides into a confectionery realm of juicy fruit gum and a little pink bubblegum too, Bazooka Joe's, white chocolate, vanilla cream soda, Gallia melon and lime cordial. And then you get the vanilla fudge, the toffee, and apricot jam with milk chocolate, green apple skin, and a hint of confected strawberry shoelaces. There's some earthy and dusty spice in the background, and some suggestions of lemon zest and hazelnut praline. We'll try them out. And I'm getting sweet honey and tropical fruits again, with banana and pineapple Then that's followed by sort of sour lime and bitter oak notes, which become quite dark and chocolatey. That bitterness subsides and it becomes a bit creamier with coconut cream, white chocolate, and a sort of light, warming, peppery spice. It's very fruity, sweet, but it's quite tempered and restrained. It's a very soft arrival for 48% ABV, and it's just a smorgasbord of fruit, a veritable fruit bowl. Yellow, green, white, and fruity. And it's easy to get distracted from the creamy white chocolate, the the light vanilla custard, creme brulee sugar, and a dusting of cocoa and nutmeg. It's creamy with plenty of vanilla, uh, custard, and butterscotch up front, and that hint of fresh peach and apricot accentuates it. And then you get some green apple, and the hazelnut praline, and the hint of strawberry shoelaces from the elbows. And as time goes on, it gets more expressive, and you get more earthy, and you get some umami in the background, like fresh mushroom, hints of gingerbread, cinnamon, and salty brine round things off nicely. And the creaminess continues into finish with a light oak, desiccated coconut, and green apple peel. It's a short finish, uh, especially once the fruity and the sweet elements fade away. That leaves a sort of peppery heat and a little dryness, and you do get the salty brine from the palate on the finish. I'm going to try about a middle in this. No chill filtered, so we would expect some Scotch mist. And there's certainly a little starting to appear there. And now on the nose, it's creamy and fruit forward. And it's brimming with vanilla, ripe apple, apricot, and pineapple. And just a touch of honey emerges with time. Try the mouth. I think with water, it's lost that hint of vibrancy it had. It's remarkably soft at 48%, and I think probably keeping it neat is best. You do get a balance of tropical fruits, soft spices, and rich vanilla, and still a very mild pepperiness now, with subtle dry notes of pencil shavings giving it some structure. And to finish, the creamy fruitiness lingers, but now it's accompanied by some more spice, with a dry herbal twist unfolding towards the end. So I'm really enjoying this 10-year-old Scapa. at 48%. Bourbon cask whiskey with tropical fruit flavours is always going to land well with me. And this one does deliver in spades. I think a small drop of water brings out the tropical notes on the nose. And I think time in the glass would do that too. On the mouth, I enjoyed the sweet, sour, bitter, and creamy palate journey. The price and the 48% non-chill filtered presentation are big plus counts. But it's a shame they couldn't have given to us with natural colour. Despite that, it's easy to recommend. There's a fruit-fueled vibrancy here, and a price that's close to affordable. Is it all it could be? No. It is much. Is it much better than anything we've had before from Scapa? I think this one is on a par with the old 16-year-old. It's simply an excellent and perfect whiskey for this price segment. So I'm going to cleanse my palate with a wheat sluzz cracker. So now we're moving on to the 16-year-old. The labelling on the box is much the same apart from age 16 years rather than 10. But you get that sort of map of Orkney on the front, on the back rather, and a little bit of information about the distillery. Not much about the whiskey. Again, the bottle is fairly straightforward. A nice dumpy bottle, nice on the display shelf. This one will look nice, spiraling on the neck there. So again, this one's been matured in ex-American oak, which is ex-bourbon. And this one marks a relaunch of the Scapa 16. The old version was discontinued in 2015. It was also matured in ex-bourbon cask, but bottled at 40%. So this one's 48%, which is much closer to our heart, I think. And you do get a nice tight line on this one as well, nice tears forming there. And with this one, it's rich and a bit bourbony. Creamy vanilla at the forefront. And you do get sort of spiciness and a hint of citrus emerging. It's very sedate, very light. It's a similar colour to the 10-year-old, but remember, this has had colour added. It's rounder than the 10-year-old. You get more salted caramel, and you get marzipan and licorice, vanilla, fallen leaves in the backyard, hay, sea, wool and old leather. We'll try them out. It's full-bodied. It's a nice and strong start. Very creamy, fruity, and spicy in the mouth. With vanilla, candied orange peel, apple, caramel, cake, honey. Starfruit, lemon slices, and an oaky spiciness. And it does have that lovely blend of vanilla, caramel, tropical fruits, and a touch of rowan berries. The palate is a clear development from the 10. Cherries and plums. And I do like that marzipan note. I'd say the wood is a bit more evident here. It is 16 years old. And I do get white bread crust, pepper, salt, a touch of iodine, citrus, and dry tannins. And the finish, got soft finish again, medium long, a surprising burst of nuttiness, milk chocolate, and a hint of coconut at the end. Uh, it's like the 10, but with more wood and plums. Drying, peppery, bready, orange peel tones, tobacco flavours, and a strong oak influence. I'm going to try a mill of water in this. Well, I don't know. We should get a little touch of Scotch mist for me here with, and yeah, I'm definitely starting to see some coming through there actually. And now I'm getting baked apples, a vanilla sauce, hint of cinnamon, chestnut honey, hazelnuts, and a freshly oiled wood, along with sweet, inviting berry notes again. It's quite delicate, sugary orange, bit floral and candy frost. We'll try them out. It's quite creamy again. Apple pie with almonds and raisins. A little white pepper, nugget, walnut, and it's got a bit touch of tin mandarin juice. Sweet with a bit of bitterness, as if it was made with a peel. And honey and a little dry oak. And it's a medium length finish. Citrus, more oaky than the 10. It's slightly drying in a very pleasant way. This is smooth, layered, and packed with flavour. The old 16-year-old was even more fruity, but much waterier, which significantly reduced the enjoyment. I would put this one above the old 16-year-old. It's subtle and complex, and this one showcases the quieter side of Orkney. So it's great to see Scapa return to an age statement core range. And these are both very good, easy sippers. I'd recommend the 10 for price point and as a good house dram. The 16-year-old is a step above it, but it's £100 plus. And hopefully in time they'll cease adding colour, and then we may have a great integrity single malt. Thank you for listening. See you next time.